My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. Every week, we break down full UFC fight cards, giving you our picks, our bets, and our fantasy plays. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our content. This video is brought to you by BETU Play to Earn. It is the world's first online play-to-earn sports and esports betting game. Check it out now at betuearn.com. That's bet, the letter U, earn.com. Next up, at UFC Vegas 48, we have Jim Miller versus Nikolas Motta. Jim Miller, 33-16 overall. Nikolas Motta, 12-3 overall. Jim Miller, 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off a great KO win over Eric Gonzalez. Nikolas Motta, 4-1 in his last 5, fresh off his Contender Series win. This fight has been rebooked. It was in September originally when Jim Miller had to pull out because of COVID, and now we're getting it in February. And Jim Miller's a legend at this point. He has multiple records, and we saw a ton of them because Andrei Arlovski fought at UFC 271, so they kept showing the records for most amount of fights and all that. And Jim Miller had every single run of those records or was close to. He's been around forever. He's got all the veteran savvy that you could ever want or expect. He's crazy tough. He's a very good grappler. He's got clean boxing, but his takedowns are just okay. He is older. His chin is starting to go. The speed is starting to go. The durability is going. I'm not sure how many fights he has left in the UFC, but in his last outing, they gave him a middle-of-the-road prospect in Eric Gonzalez, and he came in there, and he lit him up. He beat him on his feet. He won that fight. And I think the UFC is using Jim Miller to see how good are these prospects? How good are they? What should we do with these prospects? Let's give him the Jim Miller while he's still around. Nikolas Motta is a very good prospect. He's a good striker. He's explosive. He's very athletic. He moves well. His speed and diversity are rock solid. He also has rock solid takedown defense, which will be important in this matchup because he doesn't have much to offer if he's on his back on the ground. And obviously Jim Miller, very accomplished black belt. I love Jim Miller, but I love Motta in this matchup. Like, yes, Jim is coming off that knockout win over a young prospect, but this is a different young prospect. Motta is incredibly explosive. He's got great power. He can be patient when he needs to, and he's athletic enough to scramble, and Jim Miller's takedowns aren't good enough to just, guarantee that this will go to the ground. Jim has a very clear advantage on the ground, but he's going to need to take some damage to get there. And at this point in his career, I just don't know how much damage he can take to get it to the ground. So all of the people who fade Contender Series guys, because that's just some weird thing that people do, I beg you to fade Nikolas Motta. I want this line to close. I will bet Nikolas Motta if he gets closer to minus 150 because I just think I love Jim Miller. This is just not the matchup for him. What do you think, Jakey?
The only people to finish Jim Miller: Nate Diaz, Cowboy, Michael Chiesa, Dan Hooker, Charles Oliveira, and now Nikolas Motta. I think Nikolas Motta is going to finish.
Here we go.
I think he's going to finish. Listen, Nikolas Motta has a highlight film that you can watch on YouTube. I think if you YouTube his name, it's like the first thing that shows up. If you watch that, I feel like he is like the best fighter in the entire world. Just going to run through the division. He's going to bring Khabib out of retirement, knock that dude out as well. The highlight film is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. So I'm Nikolas Motta all the way. The guy throws wild. He's heavy hands. Jim Miller's got to use his experience, I guess. But, I'm Nikolas Motta all the way. Rest in peace, Jim Miller. This might be his last fight, honestly.
Yeah, I feel bad because I love Jim Miller. I don't know if it's that much, that extreme. But, I mean, look at this. 43% takedown accuracy. And that's like, that's less than half. And that's over an enormous amount of fights, which is troubling because that is his path to victory, and less than half of the time you're successful at it. So it's that is troubling for Jim. But if we go to the DraftKings prices, $8,500. I don't know because he probably will win by stoppage. But Jim Miller is still Jim Miller, and there could just be a touch of Andrei Arlovski hanging out in there. You're gonna spend the 85.
I probably am going to spend the $8,500. I'm probably going to play an inside the distance bet on Motta.
I like Motta wins inside the distance decision, no action, but he's already a favorite. Those odds will be stupid and not worth taking. But, because, listen, it's possible that a lot of people, I actually picked Jim Miller to win his last fight. And a lot of people were very anti-Jim Miller because of his age and everything else.
Jim doesn't really get finished. I think the inside the distance odds, I don't know what they are, but they're probably going to be like +2 something. I'll take those.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be an interesting fight because if Jim Miller wins this, then he's turning into an Andrei Arlovsky where he's just having a late career resurgence when it just looked like he was done. But should be an interesting matchup. I like the more here. I think Nikolas Motta wins, but I don't think it's as early of a stoppage as you do. Sounds like you'd go less.
No, I'm still going more. I think he's not going to finish him in the first minute. I mean, it is Jim Miller, but I think eventually he just catches him. Maybe late second. I'm going to say late second, overhand right.
Okay. I was the way you said that
overhand right. I know. I was gonna go even more into details. Then he's gonna mount him and then ground and pound, transition to an arm bar. But then I was like, we'll just let it go.
Yeah, like the inflection of your voice, so there was more words coming.
Yeah, there was supposed to be more, and then I just kind of gave up.
Well,
it's almost vacation mode for me. So
we're both on Nikolas Motta, but if you want $50 free from me, go to wewantpicks.com/bets. Sign up with one of our betting partners. Let me know after you do. I'll send you $50 as a thank you for supporting us and our partners.